Who remember what the assignment is?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Sharvari.
Sarvari, you want to tell what the assignment?
Yeah, you had told us to take the story that we learned and then summarize the key points of the story so we can tell you next class.
Okay, and then any sort of incident that happened over the week which can relate to you from what we learned and how you applied. Okay, thank you. Okay, who wants to go first? Meher, go ahead.
Prabhuji, yesterday, I just got reminded about our homework, and we should. Right now, I realized that hey, we should do the summary points. So I don't remember that part. So I do know the incident part.
Okay, thank you. 1 point you can tell, Meher.
So this week, the incident I faced was that, like, right before class started, our cake that we were making, it did not soak up water, and then we said, let's improve it, and it does not always have to be good, because like in the story, Yadati wanted youth, but it's not always that we want youth.
Very
So
nice. Very
yeah,
good.
sometimes, all the times we don't need perfect things.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much. So I see Mahati is next.
I'm going to say a few points I learned from last week's story.
Okay.
So point 1 is we should not complain always. We should just adjust and go. And the second point is we should not be mean to anyone. And the third point is thinking to take revenge on others is bad. And the fourth point is we are not happy as long as we focus on the material world.
Beautiful. Thank you. Very nicely summarized. Did you have any experience that you want to share last week of what you just written down where you could you applied it? Nothing incident happened in relation?
No incident.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Mahati. Samanvi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So some things I learned from the story we heard last week was that if somebody is not that kind to you, we have to try to think of Krishna and make it better. And one other one I thought about was when we have full faith in Krishna, it will be easy to do the things faster and we won't get any trouble.
Very beautiful points you said. Two very beautiful points. Anything you applied over the week on these, what you just shared?
Yeah. So few days ago, I one thing happened was sometimes in the night times we know that it can be very not that if you have like a light bulb it will be better, like a light bulb or something to keep it. But what I improved was when I don't use the light bulb, it was being better for me. So I improved without using light bulbs and sleep.
Okay, something that you changed. That's very nice. Thank you for sharing this light bulb incident. Thank you. Okay, who wants to go next? Diksha, are you ready?
Prabhuji, actually, when I attended the class,
I had another class that time, so my parents heard the class. I didn't.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. No problem. Rukmini, I see that you raised your hand. You want to share?
So like when I was playing a game with my family, then like then I wanted to choose one game, my favorite one game, and then didn't get a chance, so I a bit lost control.
Oh,
And
you lost control. Okay.
then yeah, so
Okay.
so it's a so I learned that it's a so for losing control and getting mad is a not really easy way. So we can ask, like, can I play this game? And before we get mad or angry, or yeah, and we should be obedient.
Very nice.
A
Thank you
better
so
way.
much for frankly sharing your experience. Very good, Rukmini. Thank you. Bhavya, you want to go next?
Okay, Prabhuji. So from the story of Maharaj Yayati, I learned that we should not have lusty desires and we should not get into other people's businesses. For example, how like how a rishi, what Shukracharya was getting in the business of her daughter and her husband, so that caused lots of trouble to the relationship.
Hmm. Very good. Very good. Thank you, Bhavya. So is anyone else? Anirudh looks like he's back. We have been missing Anirudh for a long time. I see is in today, I guess. Right? Anirudh?
Hare Krishna.
How are you, Anirudh?
God.
We missed you for many weeks. Okay, thank you. Gauransh, you are going to say something?
Yeah, Prabhuji. So I would like to say that we should not have lusty desire like Yayati did, and we should always be in the right path. We should not be in the wrong path like Yayati.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you all so much. You all did a wonderful job of completing your assignment. I hope I didn't miss anyone. If I missed anyone, please speak up.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Who's this?
Sharvari and Akshara.
Sharvari, go ahead. Yeah, please. Akshara, both of
Um,
you.
so in the story of Yayati and Devyani, we learned that you shouldn't get angry for like small matters. And if you do, before acting, you should first think like what the consequence could be. And another thing we learned was that you shouldn't bring other people into your troubles. Like, for example, she kept bringing her father into the problem, which caused a bigger problem than what would have happened if she wouldn't have.
That's a
What I
beautiful
learned,
point.
what I learned is that you shouldn't get angry so fast. You should be calm and you should be helpful, like Yayadi helped Devayani.
Akshara, very, very nice point. You should not get angry so fast, but we can get angry slowly, right? So anger itself is not bad. First thing is we should understand anger itself is not bad. It depends on who applies and where it's applied and what is the intention of applying anger. So many factors are involved when it's come to things like this. Sometimes we bluntly say that it's not good. So there are many factors should be considered. I think you all got the message very nicely, very clearly, and a lot of points you all have written down and shared. Thank you. Really appreciate you all doing this. Thank you so much. With that said, let's go ahead and start today's session. Sri Vallabheti Varadeti Dhayapareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhavaluntan Goviteti Nadeti Nagashayaneti Alapinam Pratimam Kuruma Mukundaha Jayatu Devo Devaki Nandanoyam Jayatu Krishno Vrishni Vamsi Pratipaha Jayatu Megha Kshamala Komalango Jayatu Prithvi Bharanaso Mukundaha. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayatu Jayatu Devo Devaki Nandanoyam. Jayatu Jayatu Krishna Vrimshni Vamsi Pratipaha. Jayatu Jayatu Mega Kshamala Komalango. Jayatu Jayatu Prithvi Bharanaso Mukunda. This is a beautiful sloka that is composed by a great king by the name Kulashekara in a book called Mukundamala. So here, King Kulashekara glorifies Jayatu Jayatu. So usually we go to the temple and pray to God that keep me happy, keep me safe, give me happiness. So we always pray to God for our welfare. But here, King Kulashekara is praying and saying that let you be safe, let you be happy, let you have good health, you live long. Can you think about it? We go to God and pray, God, pass me the exam. I want to do nice in my competition and all the different things. Now, Kulashekara is telling, let you be happy, you be healthy, you live long, Jayatu Jayatu, Jayatu Jayatu. So you keep on selling, you be victorious. And that is how the great saints and saint souls are. Rather than they think of themselves, they want the Lord to be happy. Hmm? That is the highest bhakti. Prithvi bharo nasa mukundaha. Here King Kulasekara says, Jayatu Jayatu Prithvi bhara. Prithvi means earth, Mother Earth. Mother Earth was really, really having a hard time because she couldn't hold the the earth. Mother Earth was filled with so many unwanted people who were causing a lot of trouble. And it was Krishna who removed the problem of Mother Earth. Prithvi Bhara Naso Mukundaha. Mukunda, who delivered the problem and troubles of Mother Earth. Not only that, Krishna Vrishni Vamsi Pratipaha. At one point of time, there was, we are going to see today, that the Vrishni Vamsa, Yadukula, did not have the kingdom. Why they did not have kingdom? Because if you remember, last week we saw Yayati went and approached his children to exchange of his youth. But then Yadu, who was one of his son, he did not accept the proposal. Therefore, he did not get kingdom. And from that point onwards, Yadukula did not have kingdom. But it was Krishna who appeared and brought back Yadukula into into the lineage of the parampara. Therefore, Jayatu Jayatu Krishna Vrishni Vamsi Pratipaha. Jayatu Jayatu Devo Devaki Nandanoyam. Devaki Nandanoyam. So let that son of Devaki, the supreme mother, Devaki, be victorious, glorious, healthy, happy. And Mega Kshamala Me Komalango. And Krishna's body is so beautiful in color, it's Mega Kshamala, right? So sometimes people say that Krishna is dark in complexion. It's not dark like this color, this dark, right? Krishna dark is so beautiful, so nice, right? Otherwise, can you think that are 16, he can have 16,000 wives marrying to a, you know, someone like that? He is very handsome, right? He's so beautiful. That's why everyone who sees Krishna, they want to become Krishna's wife. Hmm? That's how Mega Kshamala Komalango. That Krishna is a prime and principal subject matter for Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam is simply to glorify Krishna. And Vyasadeva, who compiled 125,000 slokas of Mahabharata, was not but satisfied. And under the advice of Narada Muni, then he thought, because he wanted to glorify Krishna when he started writing Mahabharata, but then he ended up speaking about Pandavas, and then Gangaputra Bhishma, and many kings and whatnot, right? So it was very branched out. So to focus on Krishna alone fully, Narada Muni told him that you better write something that glorifies Krishna, that is beneficial for the devotees. And then that's when Vyasadeva composed this wonderful literature called Srimad Bhagavatam. That's how the Bhagavatam came into existence. Now, this Bhagavatam is so filled with so many beautiful stories, starting from Canto 1. But when it came to Canto 9, when we are going to the slokas, we will see where Sukadeva Goswami is going to narrate about Krishna's appearance, and he concludes. And that's when Parishit Maharaj is going to say, "My dear Sukadeva Goswami, I want to hear more about Krishna's pastime. Could you please tell?" And that became the 10th canto. So we have completed nine kandas so far. Hmm? Out of nine kandas over, and the next one is going to be 10th canto, and this 10th canto is all about Krishna only. There's no one else. It's only Krishna, completely Krishna Katha. And this 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam has 90 chapters together. Hmm? So whatever we have seen so far in cantos, it's all over, and this 10th canto is fully about Krishna's stories. And we can really sit back, relax, and enjoy the stories of Krishna. And of course, there'll be here and there some philosophical points to understand, but other than that, it's all Krishna story. So before we get into the Krishna Katha in the 10th canto, let's just wrap up by some few small leftover stories, and then we can enter into the 10th canto. So we saw Surya Vamsa has been completed, and then we also saw Chandra Vamsa, in which Yayati appeared. And then we saw in the lineage of Yayati many kings appeared. And there was one king was Puru. And after that, Dushmanta, who was also known as Dushyanta, he appeared. And he got married to Shakuntala. And their son was Bharata. So it is said the Bharata Bhumi, the India, is named after this king Bharata, and also they say is named after the Bharata of Ramayana, and also it says Bharata that we saw Jada Bharata. So many Bharatas are there. So this is one of the Bharata. Yes. And then in the same lineage of Yayati, there was another king called Ranti Deva. Okay, Ranti Deva is such a wonderful king, is known for his charity, so giving things to others. So he is very well known for giving charity to others. So he was doing a 48 days of vrata, a fasting. So after completing the 48 days of vrata, then he has to break the fast. Hmm? It is similar to Amrish Maharaj story, but similar meaning in fasting sense, but then it's totally different story here. So Ranti Deva was ready after 48 days of fasting. He was ready to now break the fast. So all the preparation were made, the prasadam were all brought, and then it was kept so that Ranti Deva can have the prasadam, honor the prasadam. When he was ready to sit and have prasadam, that time someone knocked the door, and then Ranti Deva responded, and it was a Brahmana. He said, I am appeared in your, and I came to you, so if you can give something to eat, that will be nice. So Rantideva, without any hesitation, he gave half of whatever he had to the Brahmana. So the Brahmana was very happy. He ate and he took it and he went. And Rantideva sat back to eat another prasadam. That time again, someone was knocking the door. Then Rantideva opened the door. He saw, he was trying to see who that is. There was another man, and another man came. He said, "My dear sir, is there anything that I can eat?" And then Rantideva said, "Please take it." He gave half of whatever he had. And he came and sat to eat. Another knock. Then he again saw there was a man with a dog. He said, "My dog is really, really wanting to eat something. Do you have something?" And then Rantidev gave whatever he had. And then he was ready to sit and eat. All he had was only a glass of water now. Everything was gone. So he was going to take a glass of water and he was ready to pour it into his mouth like this. Again, there was a knock. And there was a Chandala, another person who came. He said, "Sir, I'm very thirsty. Is there something that you can give me?" And Rantideva said, "Please take the glass of water." Right? So he gave everything that he had. Very important for us to remember that a lesson we have to learn from Rantideva is charity is very important. We have to give charity, especially when it comes to food. We have to give food to Annadhana, right? Give food to others. Mm? So that is what we learn from the story of Ranti Deva. You all give something to others? Do you have a habit of giving to anyone? Yes, very good, very good. So giving is a very important habit that we all have to practice. Okay. Now, after that said, Sukadev Goswami goes into the details of different dynasties and different personalities, and it's filled with so many names. We may get lost totally. So many names has been given over there. And finally, he comes to a point of where King Maharaj Shantanu is there. And the Shantanu we all know from Mahabharata, right? We'll see all those things as we go here. Now, um, anyone know who Shantanu was?
Bish,
Very good, very good. That's very good. Yeah. Someone is saying, yeah. Shantanu was the father of, someone said,
Bhishma.
Bhishma, Bhishma.
Bhishma.
Krishna.
Very good. That's very good. So Sukadev Goswami goes on narrating many, many names. In so many names, he explained the whole hierarchy and lineage of, the Pandavas, also the lineage of the Kauravas, how they all came and how they got married. All those details in a nutshell, because Mahabharata is already there. So there's not the Bhagavatam does not get into too much of details of all those things other than just providing the names of these different personalities. Hmm? Now, um, now Yadu was a son. If you remember Yadu, and then from the Yadu, there's a separate dynasty came. That is why it's called Yadavas. Whoever came from Yadukula, they are called Yadavas. And there was another king by name of Vrishni. Therefore, Vrishni Vamsaha, it's also called as Vrishni. And in this lineage is where Krishna appeared. Okay. There was a king called Vidarbha who had three sons, Kusha, Krata, and Romapada. Hmm? In their line, there was another son called Andaka. Andaka was a son of Kukura. Again, these names, as I said, it gets more complicated, all these names, but I'm coming to the point of to get to Krishna here. Okay. Now, this Ahuka, there was a king called Ahuka who had two sons, Devaka and then Ugrasena. Now this name should be familiar to you all, Ugrasena, right? Now their father was Ahuka. Ahuka had two sons who was Devaka and Ugrasena. And Devaka had four sons, Devavan, Devavan, Upadeva, Sudeva, and Devavardhana. They are four sons. Okay. And he also had seven daughters. Here to the name of these seven daughters. I'm going to read this out for you all. So seven daughters are Dritadeva, Shanti Deva, Upadeva, Sri Devi, Deva Rakshitha, Sahadeva, Devaki. Okay, there you go. At least one name is familiar to us out of so many names, right? So four sons he had. Devaka had four sons and he had seven daughters. One of the daughter is Devaki. And there was another king by name of Surasena. Surasena's son was Vasudeva. Sounds familiar? Yes, Vasudeva. Now Vasudeva got married to all the seven daughters that we just read, the seven names. Not only to Devaki, he got married to all the seven daughters. Seven daughters. And then now one of the, as we saw, Devaki is someone asking a question. Yeah, Devaki is daughter, Devaki is mother of Krishna. And likewise, for Krishna, Vasudeva had another sister. Her name was Kunti. And he also had many other sisters. Now, Vasudeva's son is Krishna. Therefore, Vasudeva's sister becomes Krishna's aunt. And Arjuna is Kunti's son. Therefore, Arjuna is Krishna's aunt's son. Likewise, there's another aunt, and her son is Sishupala. And there was another aunt, whose son was Dandavakra. And these Sishupala and Dandavakra are none other than the famous Jaya and Vijaya who got cursed and born as Aksha and Hiranyakashipu, and later who was born as Kumbhakarna and Ravana, and now they are born as Sishupala and Dandavakra. So we can see they are all Krishna's aunt's son. But then one was devoted, whereas the other one was demonic. It's very important to know this point. The relationship is based on how we behave. Relationship doesn't make sense otherwise. Okay, so it's very important to understand this point. Vasudeva also had another wife by name called Rohini. You all know Rohini, right? Who's mother of
Balaram.
Balaram. Yes, yes. So it's also Rohini had not only Balaram as a son, she had other sons also. Let me read the name. Gada, Sarana, Durmadha, Vipula, Dhruva, Krita. And not only that, they had many other children also. Rohini had many sons. Vasudeva had 8 sons from Devaki, right? And you all want to know the 6 sons' name? 6 sons. Remember the 6 sons who were killed by Kamsa? Anyone knows? No, right? Let's hear their name. Let me read that name. Kirtiman, Susena, Bhadrasena, Riju, Samardhana, Bhadra, Shankarshana. And then finally, a smart looking cute little blue boy, Krishna. Right? So these are the children who are born from Devaki. So Sukadeva Goswami was narrating this and he was telling, Yada yada hi dharmasya kshayo vrittisya papmana. So he says, this first line is very familiar to all of us from Bhagavad Gita, right? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Right? The same thing has been told by Sukadeva Goswami also here. Whenever there is a dharma, decline of dharma, the Supreme Lord appear. He himself appeared. He personally appeared to restore the dharma. He appears on his own will, not being told by anyone. So, O King Parikshit Maharaj, the Lord does not have to descend in this world, but out of his free will, he does come into this world. Yam Maya, I'm reading the sloka here. Yam Maya chestitam pumsaha Sthiti utpatti apyayahi anugrahastan nivrittir atmalabhaya chesyate. And Sukadeva Goswami says that the Supreme Lord, Krishna, acts through his material energy in creation, maintenance, and annihilation. He does everything by his sankalpa. He creates everything, he maintains everything, he also destroys everything by just his thought process. Hmm? That Supreme Lord, he descend into this world out of compassion. Why does Krishna appear into this world? Out of compassion, out of love for his children. Hmm? Like we always say that, there was, I might have told this example here. A king is traveling with his wives, with his children, crossing an ocean to one place to another place. And he was on a ship. The king is in a ship, and his small boy is also in the ship. While the small boy was playing, he somehow slipped and fell into the ocean. Okay, he fell into the ocean. The king saw this one. Immediately, what is he going to do? When he saw his prince, his small child, fell into the ocean, what the king is going to do? There are so many soldiers are there, so many people are there. Yes, Bhavya.
He's gonna try to save his small boy.
Exactly. So how is he going to save now? Meher.
He's gonna jump into the ocean and save him.
So he is going to jump into the ocean himself, right?
No, with the soldiers.
So he is going to jump into the ocean to save the son, hmm? Rather than calling his soldiers. Now you all go jump, find my son and come. Right? He could do that. But then as a father, he is not going to wait for the soldiers to come and save his son. Rather, he immediately jumps into the ocean to save the son. Likewise, Krishna is so compassionate, so merciful. He does not wait for a moment to save his children. That's we are all his children, right? So he jumps into this ocean of material existence to save all of us. That's what happened. That's why Krishna appeared into this world. And then, out of his causeless mercy, not only he comes here, as he comes here, he's trying to interact and be with his devotee, give his association, and does a lot of pastime so that we all can somehow they get attracted to Krishna and connect to Krishna and return back with Krishna. That's the whole idea of why Krishna descended into this world. And after Parishit Maharaj said this one, he said there are many, many wonderful leelas that Krishna performed as a son of Vasudeva. He was shifted to Mathura, and over there, sorry, from Mathura, he was shifted to Gokula, and he was living there, and he killed many, many demons, many pastimes. And then he moved to Mathura and then to Dwaraka, and he finally gave instruction to Uddhava, and he departed from this world. Now Canto 9 is over. Okay? After finishing Canto 9, Canto 10 starts. Dasama, Kanda. Now, the very first thing that Parikshit Maharaj is asking, let me read the sloka here. Parikshit Maharaj is asking, Katito Vamsa Vistaro Bhavatha Soma Suryaha Rajanam Chopya Vamsanam Charitam Paramadbhutam. He says, my dear Sukadeva Goswami, please tell me more about Vistarena. Tell me more about Krishna's pastime. He is the one who saved our family. He is the one who saved me. You told so many stories about Surya Vamsa. You told so many stories about Chandra Vamsa. You told about Yayati. You told about this king and how this king got cursed and that lady cursed him and got married. So many, so many, so many, so many, so many stories you said. But Krishna's story, you said Krishna appeared and then he left after killing all the demons. And this is not the reason I was waiting for all these days eagerly without eating and drinking anything. I want to hear more of Krishna's story. Could you please tell me more of Krishna's story? I want to understand why he appeared. What is the purpose of his appearance? What all he did? Why he has to kill his own uncle? All those details I would like to know. Could you please tell me in detail? He is not supposed to be born. He is a supreme Lord. But why he is born into this world? How did he save my grandfather, Arjuna? How did he save me? How did he protect all the Pandavas? How do the Kurukshetra, what happened? How did he save them? Could you please tell me all those things in detail? I want to hear more. And how did Balarama, who was son of, who appeared in Devaki's womb, got transferred to Rohini? I want to know that also. And what did he do in Vrindavana as son of Nanda Maharaj? Could please tell me that one also? And how did he kill Kamsa? Please tell me that. His activities in Mathura, tell me that also. So he was keep on asking two all this wonderful question, and he said, I am not feeling hungry, I am not feeling thirsty, I am ready to hear Krishna Katha. Hmm? We should also become like that, eager to hear Krishna Katha. When we are hearing Krishna Katha, we should not be thinking that, oh my God, another 30 more minutes is left. I'm already feeling hungry. My stomach is making noise. I'm getting a lot of smells from the kitchen. My mom is making something nice. We should not thinking of all those things. Hmm? Rather, Parishit Maharaj is an example how one should hear Krishna Katha. So he was going to die in 7 days, but then he didn't bother of anything else. He didn't eat, he didn't drink. For him, what is food and what is to drink is all about Krishna Katha. When Sukadeva Goswami heard this one, he became very, very, very happy. He said, my dear Parikshit, we need audience and people like you to hear Krishna Katha, not those people who get bored to hear Krishna Katha. Hmm? Therefore, you are the right audience, right candidate to hear Krishna Katha. Hmm? Understand, my dear king, Ganga, when she descended from the spiritual world, she purified all the three worlds, upper, middle, and lower. Likewise, whoever is hearing Krishna Katha, what happens is that the speaker get purified, the hearer get purified, and whoever is asking questions, inquiring, they also get purified. Hmm? Not only speaker, the hearer and whoever is asking question, they all get purified. Now, are you ready to hear Krishna Katha? Yes?
Absolutely.
Very
Why do you
good.
ask? We all will see it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. Yes.
Okay. With that said, now the story starts. Okay. Bhumir dripta nripa vyaja daityantika shatayuktahi. It is said the mother Bhumi, yes, mother Bhumi, she was overwhelmed or overburdened by hundreds and thousands of many many demons, and it was becoming too hard for her to hold the earth with all these demonic people. Therefore, Mother Earth took a form of a cow. Mother Earth took a form of a cow. She was very distressed. With tears in her eyes, she approached Brahma, Lord Brahma, and she started crying in front of Brahma and started speaking. My dear Lord Brahma, I cannot bear the weight anymore. There are so many demonic people who are overburden me, and it's becoming so difficult for me to bear this pain. Could you please do something and help me? And Brahma said, my dear mother, let's go to the Milky Ocean and request and pray to the Supreme Lord, Narayana. So they all went along with the Devata, they all went to the Milky Ocean where the Supreme Lord resides, and it is accessible for all the Devatas. Okay. So over there they went and they all stood there and glorifying Brahma, glorified the Supreme Lord, praying to him for his mercy. And then the voice came, said, my dear devotees, do not be worried. I am fully aware of what's happening over there, and soon I will appear and remove the burden of Mother Earth. Jayatu Prithvi Nasa Bharo Mukundaha. Therefore, Krishna is the one who removed the Bhara. Bhara means the weight, the burden of Mother Earth. And the Devata, when they heard this one, they become very happy. Brahma became very happy. Mother Earth went back, and Brahma went back to his place. But they all planned because Krishna is going to appear, so we have to assist Krishna. Therefore, many of them decided to take birth in earth to assist Krishna in many ways. But Krishna has already put a plan together. Narayana, the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, he already told all the plans to Brahma what's going to happen. With that said, they all returned back. They all went back. There was a king called Surasena. Surasena had a son, Vasudeva. Vasudeva was very, very wise and very nice and devoted person. He wanted to get married. So Surasena arranged a marriage for Vasudeva. And there was a wonderful, nice princess by the name Devaki, who's Devaka's son and daughter. And they got married. They got married. And then Kamsa was a cousin brother, not a direct brother, cousin of Devaki. But Kamsa was very attached. He likes his sister Devaki so much. The marriage had happened, took place. Vasudeva and Devaki got married. And as they got married, and Kamsa was ready to take Devaki, his sister, to the place of his brother-in-law, who was Vasudeva. So they all got into the chariot, ready to move. Kamsa became the chariot driver for his sister. Right? Now it's a very nice thing. Krishna is also chariot driver. We know that, right? His uncle Kamsa was also chariot driver. Very nice. And we're also going to see some comparison here, which is very interesting to know. Kamsa, even though he was born as son of King Ugrasena, but he was very egoistic personality, very, very egoistic personality. There, when they were going on the chariot, at that point they were having a nice conversation, everything was going nice, and the drums and bugles and kettle drums and all sort of lot of instruments, and the girls were dancing in the front where the chariot was moving towards Vasudeva's home. Everything was very nicely happening. At that point of time, there was an asariri means there was a voice came from the sky. Who knows that? I think one of you have. Yeah, Samanvi, you remember? Go ahead.
Yes, so from the sky, like they said about Devaki will have a eighth son that will come and kill you, and you will be gone forever.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. So I think Rukmini, you did a dialogue or something like this on this one, if I remember right, correct? As as uh, as
As, as a Durga Devi, like
oh, as a
telling.
Durga Devi. Sorry. I thought you did this one. Okay, no problem. So the voice came from the sky saying, it didn't mention any names. He said, "You foolish rascal! The eighth child of Devaki will be your killer. He will kill you." As soon as the Asariri came, "You foolish rascal," no one turned around and looked, who's calling me? Except one person who turned and looked. That was Kamsa. Right? Asariri did not call out the name. He said, "You fool." And then no one turned except Kamsa turned back and saw. He said, "Hey, you think that you're going to be living longer? But then the eighth son of Devaki is going to kill you." And the Asariri, when as soon as he heard this Asariri, the voice, and then Kamsa became very, 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 very angry. He became very angry. At that point of time, he did not think for a moment. He snatched, caught hold of the hair of his own sister, Devaki. He pulled her hair like this and removed the sword and ready to chop off her head like that, ready to kill. So we can see here, everyone is attached to their own body, right? Attachment to their own body is so much, they don't care about others' survival, others' welfare, how they are doing. As long as I am happy, I am doing well, I can help others, right? If something is going to happen to me, I don't care who the other person is. I will finish that person. That is Kamsa's mentality over here. We can see this one right here. Now, Kamsa was ready to kill his own sister. At that point of time, Vasudeva spoke very, very beautifully. He gave a lot of good advices to Kamsa. Hmm? And what is the use of giving advices to people who doesn't want to hear? Is it good? It's not good. Hmm? You can only give advices to those people who are ready to hear, and those people who value your advices. Otherwise, there's no point in giving advices to anyone. There's no point in doing these things. Hmm? Therefore, Vasudeva, as soon as he saw, he just got married, newly married couple, and immediately when he caught hold of Kamsa hand, he said, "My dear brother-in-law, please stop. You cannot do this one. How can you kill your own sister? That is not good. You're coming from such a nice dynasty. Don't become nasty." Right? So don't do that one. You cannot kill a woman, helpless woman. Moreover, why are you so much attached to the body? Body dies. Anyone who is born is going to die. Whoever is dying, they're going to be born. Sounds familiar, right? In Bhagavad Gita, we read, right? Jatya sahi dhruva mrityur dhruvam janma mrityasya cha. Anyone who's going to be born, they will die, Kamsa. So, why are you so much worried about these things? Just now we got married. You should not do this one. This is not good. No one is going to live longer. Everyone is going to die. Death is inevitable. Therefore, my dear Kamsa, killing is not an option for you. That to your own sister, you should not do this one. It is very, very, very bad offense. So he was just telling this one. And Kamsa was not ready to hear all his good advices. We can see this one where Krishna picked up Bhagavad Gita from, right? Krishna was also selling the same thing to Arjuna, and his own father is telling the same things to his uncle, Krishna's uncle. But the only difference is both the conversation happened in the chariot, right? Krishna, Arjuna on the chariot, Vasudeva, Kamsa on the chariot, and the chariot driver is Krishna over there, and the chariot driver Kamsa over here. The one who was giving advice is Krishna to Arjuna. Over here, it was Vasudeva to Kamsa. Everything is identical, but there's only one difference. The difference is Arjuna heard and applied Bhagavad Gita, whereas Kamsa heard from Vasudeva, but nothing went into him. Nothing went into him. Hmm? Therefore, we should understand that advices should be given to the right people at the right time when it's been asked. And there are great souls sometimes, even when the advice is not being asked, if they know things are going wrong, they jump in and try to save the situation by giving advices. Here, Kamsa did not ask for any advices, but Vasudev jumped into the situation and he started giving advices to save the situation, the bad situation otherwise. Hmm? So therefore, sometimes we have to give advices if you are in a situation to help the things to get better. So here, after Vasudev said so many things, finally he said, my dear Kamsa, why you want to kill your own sister? Because your sister is not a problem. Sister is not going to kill you. It is only the child of Devaki who is going to kill you if at all he kills. Therefore, I have a proposal for you. What is that? I will give my children to you. So why are you worried about kill? Why you have to kill Devaki? That's not what you want to do. And Kamsa liked this proposal, liked this idea. So at times we have to make a decision to solve the situation at that very moment. Sometimes we have to make such decisions. One might ask, how can Vasudev can do like this? To save his wife, is he going to sacrifice his children to be killed in the hands of Kamsa? He should have done something else. Well, at that moment, it's a critical situation. Kamsa is not going to hear anything else. So we have to give us some option to him where he is pacified. So therefore, Vasudev took the step of giving this proposal. And then Kamsa became very, very pleased with the proposal and accepted this proposal. And then let them go. And the story is not over yet. Now the problem starts. Then Kamsa thought for a minute. He said, hold on. If I let these people go, then it's going to be out of control. So let me put them into jail. So he called them back and he put them into the jail under the supervision of all the guards. And Vasudev and Devaki are in the jail now, waiting for the Supreme Lord to appear. As Vasudev and Devaki are waiting for Krishna to appear, we will also wait to hear more next week what happened in the jail. Okay, so there are a lot of things I skipped in this one, but we are going to see more details to what has been told now. But we'll stop here, and I'd like to open for any sharings or questions or discussions. Yes, Bhavya.
Prabhuji, who spoke to the sky? Was it a demigod or was it Swami Krishna?
It is Krishna himself.
Okay.
Many times we hear these voices in the Puranas. So that doesn't tell whose voice is that. Asariri, that's all it says. So we can take that as Krishna who spoke to the Devatas. Yes, Gauransh.
Prabhuji, I have a question. So, Kansa killed all the six children of Devaki. So, because they were little when Kansa killed them, so how did they get their name?
They have the names. They already decide that the names are already told by Sukadev Goswami, and it's all there in the Bhagavatam. So they have their names, defined name.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mm. They didn't go through any sort of naming ceremony and all those things. So Sukadev Goswami gives the details of these are their names. Okay, next. Oh yeah, Sarvari and then Rukmini. Mm.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Um, why did Krishna choose the Yadu dynasty to be born in?
Yadukula was not, as I said, out of those children that they had, Yayati had, Yadu was the one who was not awarded with the kingdom. And Yadu was such a nice person. He was very self-realized person. But then Krishna want to help that particular dynasty on the Yadu. Therefore, he chose to be born into Yadu to bring the dynasty back into life. That's
Okay,
why he
thank you,
chose
Prabhuji.
Yadu.
Okay.
Okay, Rukmini.
So when Kamsa was about to kill Devaki, then Vasudev stopped Kamsa. Then why didn't he make another decision to satisfy Kamsa?
What other options you have for Vasudev?
I'm just asking a question. So why didn't he ask Kamsa to satisfy Kamsa some more? Like why did he ask just I will give he will give his children? Why didn't he ask another thing to satisfy?
Because Kamsa was so very angry. He is ready to even kill his own sister. Understood? When he was ready to kill his own sister, you can't tell him that I'll give you popcorn. Could you please leave my sister? Right? Or you cannot tell I can give you my kingdom. Please leave my sister. So he can't. Nothing is going to work. The problem is Kamsa is going to be killed by the children of Devaki. So Devaki is the person who's going to have children. So how to solve the problem? Either kill Devaki or kill the children. These are the only two options which is going to take care of Kamsa's problem. So Vasudev want to save his wife immediately. That is an emergency situation. To save his wife, he said, well, here is the second option. Leave your sister, my wife, and take the children. Understood? And Kamsa became happy with that proposal. Nothing else is going to make Kamsa satisfied. Understood?
Yeah.
But good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mahati.
What's the homework for next week?
Chant Hare Krishna. That's all. There's no homework for next week. And we are all waiting for Krishna to appear next week. So you all can want, if you want, you can all draw Devaki and Vasudev in the prison house, waiting for Krishna to appear. So you can draw a nice picture of that. Maybe that could be the assignment. Okay, Mahati? So you're all going to draw Vasudev and Devaki waiting for Krishna to come.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Srinivas.
I have a question.
Yes.
So what I heard was when he heard from the Ashirari Vani saying that the eighth son is going to kill you, so he's about to kill Devaki, but Vasudev pacifies him actually, right? And then he let them go because he agrees on that time. And then after a few years later, Narada comes back and reminds him. That's what I heard, and then he put them into the jail. Is that true?
Yes.
Or
That's exactly what the story is. So as I said, I went through just an introduction today.
Oh,
So we are just going to see the details.
okay.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
I also have a comment.
Okay, comment 1 second. Hold on. Okay, we'll take the questions first. Go ahead, Ravi Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So, Prabhu, why did Sukadeva Goswami narrated Krishna Katha towards the end of Bhagavatam? Almost in the 10th chapter. Any reasoning there?
You see, if you invited someone to your house, right, and you tell them, Prabhu, Mataji, please come to our house today. Huh? And then once the person knows that you're going to come to your house, then I think I'm not going to eat my breakfast, I'm not going to eat my lunch. And the wife is coming and asking, why are you not eating? Well, I'm going to have dinner at Ravi Prabhu's house. Therefore, I'm building up that he has told me that he's making this item, that item, so forth. Therefore, I'm building up myself, getting ready to come and have prasadam at your house. If I eat everything, breakfast and lunch, this is not what I'm advising everyone. That's not what I'm saying here. But and then the interest and enthusiasm and interest to come to your houses reduces because I'm already full. Idea is come to eat at your house, not anything else. Okay? Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami raises the bar by giving the taste of Krishna by telling small things at a time and slowly increasing the desire of Parikshit Maharaj to hear and prepare himself to hear the cream of Bhagavatam, which is which is Krishna's pastime. So he's bringing up slowly, and finally he comes to the lotus face of Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I think the example would have been very appropriate for you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Yes, Mataji.
So I actually wanted to ask you one question, like one confusion like that. So as in our parampara, we all know that how from Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and from him Balaramji appeared, and then Chaturbhuha, then Narayana, then second Chaturbhuha, and then Vishnu, like Purusha avatars appeared. So that we know in our parampara, and we are very much convinced about this. But like the general people who are not from our parampara, they say they only hear this story that Lord Brahma and demigods, they went to Shiradakshay Vishnu in the Milky Ocean to pray and like to remove the burden of the Mother Earth, and Vishnu said that okay, I will appear and I will take care of that. So general people say that actually Krishna comes from like Vishnu. So how can we convince the common general people in a very like in a simplified way, like no, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and from Krishna Vishnu appeared?
Well, it depends on whom we are talking to, how much philosophically we want to get into this conversation. So, if it is for purpose of conveying a message, I mean, because there are certainly different schools of thoughts are there. There are schools of thought which speaks that Krishna is the source of everything, and there's the schools of thought which speaks Narayana as the source of everything. There's also another school of thought, you'll be amazed to know, that Lord Narasimha is the source of everything. And there's another school of thought which says that Rama is source of everything. And these different schools of thought, they all have the base from the scripture, quoting and saying how Rama is the origin, how Narasimha is origin, how Narayana is origin, how Krishna is origin, original personality of God. So it's really a matter of do we really have to get into the details of these things, rather than focusing on first get people to understand irrespective of Rama, Krishna, Narayana, Narasimha, they are all one and the same. They are all one and the same. You put one on the top, another one as the next one. That comes as a later stage of understanding. That's much more deeper understanding than just final first thing to understand. It is Vishnu, who is supreme, who is Narayana, who is Krishna, who is Narasimha, who is Rama. First, if the person is completely convinced that Supreme Lord is Krishna, I'm calling as Krishna, but you know, Narayana's Krishna and so forth. That has to be made sure that the person is convinced with that one. That's step number one. If the person is convinced with that one, then as the person attracted to a certain philosophy, they will naturally understand the details of why this school of thought speaks that Krishna is supreme. They may be attracted to some other schools of thought, which they get guidance and references saying that Narayana is supreme. So I would not really much be concerned personally if it is someone is a beginners or starting in spirituality, unless and until someone's really well versed with various schools of thought, then we can talk about how they differ. Does it make sense? I know I did not answer your question, but I'm just trying to bring a point that there's different schools of thought. Everyone in one sense can be considered as valid.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you. That makes sense actually. Actually, yeah, like in my friends and family circle, also these kinds of questions like arise many times. So I thought that I should ask you, and like get some
Yeah,
clarification on that.
right. The basic thing is that develop the faith in people in what they have. We have to fan their faith. If they are going in a wrong direction, we have to save them. But if they understood that Krishna is supreme, and when I say Krishna, you understand different schools so it speaks different personality.
Yes,
As long as
Prabhuji.
they have that understanding, that is well and good, right? Then we'll think about and then we can do whatever we need to talk later. So we have to help the people to increase their faith in whatever they follow. Eventually, Krishna will play his part, however it has to be.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks for the clarification.
Thank you, Mataji. We can get in, I'm sorry, continue on this. We can get into the discussion of quoting verses from this Upanishad and that Puranas in Bhagavatam to show how Krishna is origin. But I don't think that we have to get into that discussion. Yeah, makes sense, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. That definitely makes
Ah,
sense.
yeah. As we are the follower of Gaudiya Sampradaya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the instruction, and we are completely convinced it's Krishna who is the origin. Likewise, the other schools are completely convinced, as per their Guru Parampara, that whoever they think is supreme is supreme. It may be Narayana, it may be Rama or Narasimha. So that's all is enough for now. Okay. Anyone else?
Prabhuji?
Yeah, Rukmini, you had a comment. Go ahead.
Yeah. I like the whole class.
You like the whole class. Very good. Yes, Diksha.
I have a comment too. I like the whole Bhagavatam class.
Bhagavatam is so beautiful. Very nice. And what we've done today is only touched a very, very little. So Krishna's stories are so wonderful. We are going to see a lot of nice stories coming up.
Introduction.
Yeah,
Introduction.
just an introduction. Yes, little introduction. Okay.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Krishna pastimes are so funny because he'll steal butter and
Yeah, Krishna pastimes are so funny, right? He does a
yeah.
lot of things that we really like to do. Mahati, what
Especially
about you? What about your brother? He has anything to say?
he doesn't, Prabhuji.
Okay, Anirudh, you can speak up and say a few things.
I like the whole class. I am eagerly waiting for the next class.
Oh, you're eagerly waiting like Parikshit Maharaj. Very good. Ananta, are you there?
Yes, we're there.
Okay, Richesh, you both. So any questions?
No. No, none.
Okay, good.
But I have a question.
Oh, you have a question. Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
Could we turn off our this
Oh, video?
yeah.
Oh, if you're not comfortable, you do want to turn it off, that's fine. You can turn it off. Though I always like to see your beautiful faces, but that's fine. Okay, anyone else other than our kids? Anyone else have any other comments? We have 2 minutes.
Hi Krishna Prabhuji, I have a comment that I like the whole class, and in today's class we learned some stories about like Krishna.
Yeah, we learned some stories. Thank you, Gauransh. Thanks for the feedback. Any questions in the chat room? I'm missing. I don't see any. Greg, I know there's not much of discussions today, I guess. Okay. All right. If there is nothing else, Ashok Prabhu, back to you.
I think Greg has a question.
Okay.
Please tell me whether Krishna was physically born in the jail.
Oh, yeah. Krishna was physically, yes, he was physically born in that jail. Did Vasudev and Devaki know that he was a supreme personality of Godhead? Yes, they know that he was supreme personality of Godhead. So those are the sessions that we are going to cover next Saturday, is appearance. So you will know more about it next Saturday. Okay, looks like we are pretty much done, Ashok Prabhu.
All right, Prabhu, thank you so much. I don't have anything else to add. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful week. See you all next